Welcome back to my workshop. Now this is a long-awaited video. A lot of my subscribers have asked me questions about this already. Now a couple of months ago I bought this, which is my Sculpfun S9 laser. Now I haven't used it. I've literally assembled it and I'll put it to one side and I haven't used it. Literally haven't had time. But it's now Friday. It's Friday afternoon and tomorrow morning, Saturday, I need to be at the Randon horticultural show to display some of my things that I've made. So I need to make some little labels with some names on. So I'm going to use my laser. Now for this I've decided to use Lightburn software. Now this is a paid software. There are available on the internet some GRBL laser softwares which are free, but I've looked at Lightburn and it seems to do exactly what I needed to do. I don't mind paying. It's cost me about £51. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the initial startup. I've already installed the Lightburn software. There's loads of videos on YouTube about installing the actual software. I've installed it, but I haven't plugged it in yet. So what we're going to go through now is we're going to go through the initial plug-in and hopefully the detection of the laser up to the point where I can burn something. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is obviously plug it in. There's nothing plugged in here at the moment. What I'm going to use is the little power lead. I'm going to plug the power lead in. Then this obviously plugs into the mains. Let's plug that in. I'm trying to do this with one hand. That plugs into here. Right, so this is now plugged in. This is still off. It's plugged into here, which is plugged in over there somewhere. What else I need to do is plug in my USB lead, which goes in the top there, and the other end of it goes all the way over here to my laptop. Okay, that's that plugged in. Right, I haven't got any screen capture software at the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to record it straight off the screen and hopefully you'll be able to see it. Let's start up the software. Right, so I've immediately run into a problem. My laptop here wouldn't recognise the laser. It looks like the drivers are missing. So what I've had to do is I've gone to this Gogotronics here, Gogotronics, and I've gone to this part here where it says Windows CH340 driver. Okay, I've downloaded that and I've gone to open it and it's brought me up with this screen. Okay, so my intention now is to install it. So install. This may take a couple of seconds. Hopefully it's all going to work okay. Driver installed successful. Now that is good news. Right, okay, let's try that all again. That's installed, I'm going to shut that down. Okay, so I've installed that driver, I've shut Windows down, I've just started it up again. Now let's plug this fella back in again and see if it recognises it this time. Right, so we're going to start Lightburn software. Just double click on the icon there. Oh, looks very impressive. Okay, so the actual screen has come up. Right, it's coming up with your device list. So it obviously hasn't found my laser yet. So what I'm going to do is push this button here, which is find my laser. I'm hoping it's going to come up with a GRBL laser. Make sure it's connected, USB, yeah. Lightburn. Excellent. Right, okay, so it's found my laser here. Let's add that as a device. Add. Okay, what would you like to call it? Let's call this Frank's Sculpfun S9. Okay, now 410 by 400. Yeah, that's correct. So we'll next that. Where is the origin of your laser? Now I'm going to use that as the bottom left hand corner. Okay, so this is already set on the bottom left hand corner. I'm going to use that. Now auto home. Now I want to turn this off because I don't have any switches for auto homing on my machine, so I'm going to turn this off, and that should save me some trouble later on. Press next. It's just going to give me a quick summary. That's it, you're done. Here's a summary. Frank Sculpfun S9, that's the size of it. Click finish. Okay, in theory I'm ready to rock and roll. Right, so before we start doing some sort of design, what I want to do is first of all look at this bit here. Okay, it actually says absolute coordinates, which is what it's defaulted to. You can either use current position, user origin, or absolute coordinates. Now, to make it easier for myself, I'm going to use absolute coordinates. And that means, if you look down in the bottom corner here, on the bottom left hand corner, there's a green square and a red square. Okay, now that is obviously where the origin of the laser is going to be. So what we need to do is, with the laser still turned off, move the gantry so the laser is right in this corner here. Okay, so we now know that's where the laser is, and that's where the absolute coordinates thing is. Okay, so what else do we need to set before we go any further? We go up to the top here where you got the spanner or wrench, whatever you want to call it, but I call it a spanner. You click on that, and what we want to do is enable the laser fire button. Okay, so that's red, we've turned that green. So that means we can, at some point, we can turn the laser on really low power just so we can actually see where it is. Okay, right, I guess we better start doing some sort of design. Okay, because I need to make myself some little labels, what I want to do is some text mainly. So here on the left hand side is our toolbox. Now all you do is, to make some text, you select the big A. Okay, bring your cursor onto the screen, click it, and it will give you a position where you can start the text. Let's just write something. Okay, Frank's little workshop. So that's the text. Now what it's done is, if I select that using my left mouse, okay, over in this top square here, okay, it's given me a layer. So this is obviously the first part, which is this text. It's giving me a layer here. Okay, now in this drop down box here it says line. So with a line you're basically going to laser cut on the line, self-explanatory. With fill, it will actually fill in the whole thing, etc, etc. So for this I think we'll just do a line. Okay, and if we want to see what that looks like, we go up to this little TV screen at the top here, click it, and it should show you what it looks like. Okay, and if you play, it will show you the path that the laser will take. So let's play that. Okay, we can see it going along here, and then this is what the laser is going to do. Okay, so that gives you a good opportunity to check out what your laser is going to do before you commit it to the job. Okay, and obviously there's a scrolly bar at the bottom here. You can go forwards or backwards if you can get hold of it. Yeah, you can jump forwards to speed it up. Okay, so say if I'm quite happy with that, that's fine. If I was to select fill, okay, and then do the same thing, look at the preview, you can see here, see it's got a red background, but that's not a red background. What that is the toolpath. So basically it's where the laser is going to go. So if we push play, this should go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So we'll give that a quick play just to make sure that it does what I think it does. Okay, obviously doing a fill will take much longer. Let's playback speed a bit faster. Okay, so you can see it's going backwards and forwards, and it eventually fills it all in. Okay, let's skip forwards. Okay, so the red you're seeing is just the toolpath. So we'll say okay with that. But for this, we're going to go for line. If I wanted to move this, because basically our coordinates here are at the bottom, okay, that's our absolute coordinates. So this is the area of our laser. So wherever this is placed on this area is where the laser will go to actually burn it. Okay, if I wanted to select this, what I do is I go up here to my little cursor key and it selects the whole thing. Then floating my cursor over it, I can grab it and I could move it around, or I could stretch it bigger, or I could rotate it on the corners here if I can get it. Okay, so you can position it however you like. Okay, if I have moved that and I didn't want to move it, up the top here we've got some undo buttons. Okay, so that's how you manipulate the text. You just move it around where you want it. For now, we'll just shove that in the middle, and that is our first layer. I guess I'm going to try and burn that onto this piece of MDF. All right, so the first thing I want to do now is turn it on. Okay, I've turned it on. The little lights come on the laser. Now, one thing I do want to change is how fast it's going to go and how intense the laser is. So here, which is in the top right hand corner, it tells you the speed and the power. Okay, at the moment that's doing 6,000 millimeters per minute, I believe that is, at 20% power. Okay, I don't know if that's fast enough, but what I'll do is I'll just press play, and this laser should then go to the middle of the board, okay, where this is, and it should start burning it. But what if I was doing it on a smaller piece and I wanted to find out exactly where it is? Okay, what I do then is I push this button, which is frame. That should take the laser and move it around where it's going to be. So let's push the frame button. Oh, it's moving, it's moving. Okay. So I'm just going to push frame again. Frame. And it basically moves around where it's going to be. Now to me that laser looks far too high. Okay, let's focus the laser. Okay, there's no auto focusing on this laser. What you get is this, which is a little spacer. Now you get this with the laser. Just in case you lose it, let's see how big it is. I've got my calipers here. Okay, I think it's about 20 mil. Yeah, 20 mil. Okay, so you get this 20 mil spacer. Now what do you do with that? What you do is you place it underneath the heatsink part of the laser, and you undo the two knurly nuts on the back. Holding the laser so it doesn't drop. Okay, undo these two knurly nuts. Okay, then lower the laser onto that. Okay, so here, that then sets the distance of the laser away from the workpiece. Okay, so obviously if you've got something else you're engraving, like say this block for example, okay, you put your block that you're going to engrave. Okay, so whatever your workpiece is, you use this to space from your workpiece. Okay, but for this exercise what we're going to do is we're just going to burn straight onto this piece of board. Put that there and then tighten up the two nuts at the back. Okay, you don't have to over tighten them, just as long as the laser doesn't move. Okay, once you've done that, you can then remove the spacer. So now the laser should be focused. So let's try framing it again. But this time, when I frame it, I'm going to push, I think it's my shift key, and this should fire the laser at the same time. Okay, so if I push shift and frame, No, it doesn't work. How do I fire the laser? Let me figure that out. Okay, so I want to be able to fire the laser. Now, I've already been up to here and enabled my firing laser. Okay, enable laser fire button. Okay, I've already done that. But where is my fire button? I can't find it anywhere. Okay, what you have to do is go up to window up here. Okay, and then select the move option. Okay, click, and that gives you over here, it gives you a move tab. Okay, and on your move tab you then have your fire button, your percentage of fire button. So now if I push the fire button on here, I should be able to see the laser fire on and off. Let's try that. I've got it set to 1%. On, ooh, off, on, off. Okay, so that doesn't burn anything because it's so, the power's so low. Let's get you in a closer look here. Let's try that again. On, off. Okay, but this could help you when you're trying to frame your laser. Okay, but also on the move screen you've got these controls, which means in theory I should be able to move the laser left and right and up and down. Okay, I'll push down, okay, which is good, right, okay, and it shows here that I've got that set to move distance 10 millimeters. So every time I push this, this moves 10 millimeters. Okay, and it tells you how fast it goes. All right, so there's just a few notes on how to move it around. But what it does mean now is if I frame this again and I turn my fire button on, okay, we should, so fire button on, see my little laser on, and then I frame it, push. Ah, it goes off again, here we go. Okay, so the laser's on and it's framing where it's going to burn. Okay, so if I'm burning it onto a piece, I should be able to get it quite accurate. Let's give it one more go. Frame. Okay, laser comes on. Right, we're happy with that. Because we're just burning it into this board, it should be fine. Let's go back to our move tab, turn the fire off. We're happy. I think now it's time to start the burn. Now at this point I don't know whether 20% is going to be powerful enough. I don't know if 6,000 is going to be fast enough. It might be too fast. It might burn too quickly. All I'm going to do is push the button and see what it gives me. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is we've got our design. I'm just going to push my start button here and see what happens. Let's get you so you're looking. And 3, 2, 1, start. Oh, okay. It's burning. It's not burning very well. Right, can't even see that, so I think I need to up the power. Right, how do we do that? Stop it. Okay, so when I up the power, I'll probably take this up to about 60% power. Okay, that may be too much, I don't know yet. So up in this cuts and layers tab, down the bottom here, I can either input the numbers, 60% for example, or I can increase or decrease it using the up and down buttons here. Okay, so now that's changed. It should be more intense, but the same speed. So let's try pushing it again. Okay, obviously I can't see until it's done a little bit of burning. Ah, burning. I can see it burning. Okay, so that's now started burning. Now, this is a very important point. If you've ever got the laser running, you must wear your goggles. Okay, these were supplied with it. I think they should be sufficient for this laser. Okay, so if I ever look at the laser, I've got to wear these. Okay, very fetching. Let me give you an idea of what I can see. Okay, and also because it's a laser, it's burning. What you need to do is put on some sort of extraction or have a very well ventilated area. Now I've got an extractor over here, which I'm going to turn on, but I'm also going to open the door so I've got plenty of airflow. It's very important because it is a burning thing. And if you've got smoke detectors in the house, you might set them off. Right, let me open the door a bit. Okay, as you can see, this is actually doing a fill. It's not doing the line, it's doing a fill. So somewhere along the line during me pushing buttons, I've changed this from line to fill. Okay, what I'll do is I'll let it finish running its course. It should only take a few minutes. Here's your progress bar. It's already been going for 4 minutes. As soon as this reaches the end, then what I'll do is I'll move my piece of wood and then I'll put it onto line. Okay, so it's finished its first fill. That's looking quite good. Probably not dark enough. Probably would have liked it darker. But I did want it to be a line instead of a fill, so I'll try that now. And once it finished this actually returned back to its original position. Okay, so I'm liking that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to a different place. Okay, then I'm going to frame it again, but I'm going to change this to line. Okay, frame. Okay, the laser comes on, draws me a square. Quite happy with that. Let's push the start button and it starts burning straight away. Now it's very, very faint. So the same thing again, either the power is not powerful enough or it's going too fast. I suspect with this it's going too fast. So what I'll do is I'll let it finish and then I'll change the speed. Okay, at the moment this is on 6,000. I'll knock that down a bit. Okay, it's finished. Okay, change that to 2,000. Okay, start it again. Okay, you can see just by slowing it down, it's giving it obviously more time to burn, and you can actually see that now. Okay, obviously smoke is a little bit of a problem. It's not too bad. I've got a door open, I've got my extractor on. Okay, there we go. So that's the difference between line and fill. Right. So one thing I want to quickly try is I want to make this obviously a lot smaller, okay, because the tags I've got to make are smaller. So all I want to do is select my design, okay, and I'm going to make it a lot smaller, teeny tiny small. Okay, and then I'm going to move it up here somewhere. Now that is very small. How can I zoom in? At the top here, we've got some zooming in buttons. So let's zoom in. And I'll move this. Okay, and grabbing this cross here means I can move it around the screen. But I'm not actually moving the text, I'm moving the whole board. So let's zoom in a bit more. Select my text again. Okay. Right, so this time it's going to be smaller. Let's try. Same speed, but a lot smaller. Let's see what happens. Right, that took a good 16 seconds. Let's have a look. There it is. Yeah, so I think with a little bit of tuning, I should be able to get it nice and clear. Right, I think that'll do for now as a first introduction, and I've got to get on with making some little name tags. Right, so I think I will leave it there. That was a very quick introduction on the very basics of getting it started and actually burning something. Okay, I'll probably go into more detail in future videos, but for now, that'll get me up and running. I can learn how to use the software properly. The software looks great. Okay, it's very intuitive. If you don't know how to do something, it's not too hard to find out how you can achieve what you need. Okay, I'm going to get on now, make some little tags, and I think that'll do for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. So I'm going to use my laser. Let me do this off camera. Get it focused. Oh God, come on. But what I've decided to do is use Lightburn. Now, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen.